tornadoes in our nets. Well, that's enough to bring.
If you're familiar with Veggietales, then you know
Silly Songs with Laddie. Silly Songs with Laddie. Silly Songs with Laddie. Silly Songs with Laddie. Silly Songs with Laddie.
But did you know there was a silly song, recorded and animated, that never was officially released?
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Laddie, the part of the show where Laddie comes out and sings a silly song.
Just a moment! Wait! Stop talking! Excuse me, I have an announcement.
Okay, no, not that one.
For Silly Songs with Laddie, the part of the show.
Stop! Don't even think about it!
Or that one. Okay, so stop guessing. Behold.
Tornado hunters are we, tornado hunters are we. We catch tornadoes in our nets while
This is Tornado Hunters, the only silly song taken from us because of climate change. Written by Phil Vischer and music by Kurt Heinecke, the song was to be paired with 2011's Princess and the Pop Star. But when a tornado tore through the Bible Belt, the song was seen as inappropriate.
And the devastation wrought by this storm is incredible.
And delayed till Robin Good, where again the timing felt just a little wrong.
Nobody thought this would be happening, especially now it's so late in the season for the hurricanes.
But this is where keen fans found their first clues about the hidden silly song. A song so hidden that it might be not only the oldest silly song, but the silly song with the longest production from conception to release. But if it was so hidden, what did fans find on the Robin Good DVD? As you can see here, in this instructional video that was sent to me, very rather hush hush, all a Veggietales fan would have to do was grab a DVD of Robin Good, an original copy of it, go to Pick a Scene in Viewing Options, then scroll past Bubble Wrap, which is the official silly song for Robin Good, to the next set of scenes, then click back, and then... Wait a second. That isn't Bubble Wrap. You'd see a title card of 2D Larry, followed by a farmhouse from The Wizard of Oz, and be greeted by a small bit of animation of Jimmy, Larry, and Mr. Nuzzer dressed as big game hunters. This, of course, shocked many fans. It was clearly ready for release, but seems to have never been released. This is where Finn comes in.
If you're here, you're probably here to find out how I came into possession of...
If you don't know Finn, he runs his own veggie-centric YouTube channel, the ultimate unofficial Veggietales channel.
If you love your veggies and want more to know, then I've got...
Look at him, with his unquenchable thirst for Veggietales lore. He couldn't leave well enough alone, and quested forth until he met the very creator of the series. And their talk went something like this.
I think like a stretched version of Mike and my Tornado Hunter song from Bible college. We catch tornadoes in our bags and throw them into trees. To trees, to trees, we throw them into trees. Yes, what about it?
That still wasn't enough. Finn had gotten farther than any fan had ever gotten before in figuring out what the heck this silly song was. Knowledge that had only been shared with a very few was now in the world due to his work. Anyone else would have been satisfied.
When I find lost media.
But he continued to search, even recording his own cover to a song he'd only heard in passing.
Tornado hunters are we, tornado hunters are we. We catch tornadoes in our nets and throw them into trees. To trees, we throw them into trees.
We catch tornadoes in our nets
and throw them into trees.
Perhaps the song would be lost forever, like the Ark of the Covenant in Indiana Jones. But then, on October 23rd, 2024, he mysteriously dropped this on his channel.
And now it's time for a public service announcement. The part of the show where there's a public service announcement.
It had been found. How did this happen? Did he just snap and animate the entire silly song by himself? Did he hop a dimension to a world where the silly song was never removed? Or did he just get some dirt on an animator and blackmail them into releasing the Vischer cut of Robin Good? What? I'm getting word that he just asked the right person nicely. I know it's kind of anticlimactic, but hey, that's proof that media is rarely ever really lost. It's just on a hard drive that you don't have access to. Well, now let's talk about what we've learned today. This song's genesis actually goes way back to like the 1980s when Phil and Mike were still in Bible college.
Mike and I were at Bible college in rural Minnesota, St. Paul Bible College, and they had a tornado warning. And so everyone you had to go to the lower level into interior halls and sit with your back against the wall. And Mike and I were like, no, we're not going to do that. So I had a pith helmet because you always need to bring your pith helmet to Bible college. And so I put on my pith helmet and we got garbage bags and we got rolls of toilet paper. And instead of going down to where you're supposed to shelter in place, we ran outside to see if we could find the tornado. And our strategy was we were going to throw rolls of toilet paper up into the air to see if the tornado would catch them and swirl them around. Then we'd know it was there. This is a good way to bring a tornado out of hiding. And then we had garbage bags, and then the toilet paper roll would lure the tornado back down to the ground, and we would catch it in our garbage bags.
These are the men raising your kids, Christian America.
Right.
Which means that this song had been swinging around Phil's noggin for at least 20 plus years when it came into being. And since it's been more than 12 years since Robin Good, that would mean that at least 32 years and maybe even more of waiting for this song to reach us.
Why? Well, there was a tornado in the Bible Belt and a couple of people died, so it's not funny anymore.
The tornado that most likely shelved this song was probably the 2011 Joplin tornado, which was massive, being what is called a multiple vortex tornado. That means that the tornado was made of other tornadoes, which only lasted about 45 minutes, which is actually shorter than the runtime of Robin Good. But on a serious note, it killed 158 people, making it the deadliest tornado since 1947, at least in the US.
The house.
Grab your butterfly net.
Do not grab your butterfly net.
Yeah, maybe making a joke about this would have been in bad taste. The joke at the end of the short is that tornadoes continue to roam the land because these guys just couldn't catch them. Which could be fun until you realize that there are real climate change deniers.
Bruh.
All this to say, considering how crazy weather has gotten so far, this song was probably never going to get a proper release. Which is why it's so special that we got this at all. It is a Veggietales Philly song from the original series that comes from Phil Vischer's actual experience that we got, despite the fact the show has been ripped out of Phil's hands time and time again. It's kind of a gift. So thank you, Finn, for all your hard work. And thank you, Phil, for sharing this with us too. Anyway, it was great making this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you've heard this silly song, let me know what you think about it. Hey, if there's another silly song you'd love to see fully animated, like that Sippy Cup, the rock version one that never was released, just mention it in the comment section below.
Sip it up, throw away that bottle. Sip it up, lift it up, open up the throttle.
But yeah, this was a ton of fun. Check out Finn's channel on the ultimate unofficial Veggietales channel and support his hard work. Yeah, he found other weird stuff too. This is the SEA Storyteller, signing off. Okay, so this just in. Apparently, turns out it was much more complicated than just Finn got it from a random dude in like a back alley. No, turns out that he reached out to quite a few people on various social media sites until he could finally narrow down where this song was. He even reached out to Kurt Heineke, you know, the big composer of most Veggietales music, and asked him what he thought. Kurt at the time did not remember much about this production, and really didn't remember anything until the song was released, in which he released this long breakdown where he basically said, "Oh yeah, I totally did work on this, and there is only a piano track to go behind it." You can hear it here.
Tornado hunters are we, tornado hunters are we.
Great was their valor, yet small was their brain. And with the downfall of the tornado hunters, tornadoes went on to roam free, unchallenged across the great plain.
This is strange because this was supposed to be in 2 VeggieTales episodes and they had not composed any music for it? Huh. Okay, whatever. Let's move on. Finn sent me this. An image of the actual hard drive in the back of a shed behind the bicycle on a pile of junk that had the Silly Song in it. Imagine, this could have gotten water damage or been destroyed or been completely lost, and we would have had no idea, that this ever existed or any confirmation about what this was supposed to be. We'd be stuck with Finn singing it over some footage from a Robin Good thumbnail. This just goes to show you that sometimes you gotta work real hard to get what you're looking for. That perseverance ended up with one of the rarest pieces of VeggieTales lore now being readily available to anyone. Finn pulled some Megamind plays and greased the wheels of some of the former VeggieTales employees, and then bam, another bunch of hurricanes hit the eastern seaboard of the United States, and the Silly Song just feels a little inappropriate. It seems as if climate change is the greatest obstacle of this song ever being released, and had we waited till a day where there were no climate disasters, honestly, we'd be waiting till Jesus returned. So Finn made the diplomatic decision to just release it and let it be and see how people took it. And honestly, there was much rejoicing.